Gotta get free shit out of
Less
this.
light and coconut water.
So, I just realized talking to you about impressions that, I've never practiced any of the impressions that I've done. I just do them. Like with Joey Diaz or something like that. I just know I can do it, and I just do it.
Yeah.
Are you that way too? Like you hear someone talk?
Yeah, I think it's like you got to get out of your own way. You just let it filter in and come out
Sound
of you.
like that.
Because it's like you'll hear it. If you try to scrutinize it, you'll really start to fuck it up. But
How
if
do you
just
practice it?
I'll listen to them on headphones, and if I don't hear my voice anymore, that means I've matched it. You know
Whoa!
what I mean? Yeah. It means I've matched it. Like the Morgan Freeman one I started working on in 8th grade.
Let me hear that.
Well, now hold on, Joe Rogan. Let me get to that. Let's see here. There's a fella named Morgan Freeman, and I started working on the impression when I was in the 8th grade. Yes, sir. I was about 14 years old, jerked off 7 times a day.
Dude, that is creepy.
And it took me forever. And what happened,
That's creepy.
and the
That's
way
really
I finally
good.
perfected it when I was like 22, I saw Ben Affleck on Dave Letterman, and he was doing a Morgan Freeman impression. But it was horrible. But he was doing one thing I wasn't doing right. It's that thing. It's on here. He was adding that, but everything else was wrong. And I married the two, and I was talking like Morgan Freeman all day. I was calling restaurants, but like, I'd like to get a table for 2, please. And they're like, okay, Mr. Freeman. I was testing it out, and I was like, oh my God.
Freddy Lockhart, by the way, used to be on the Frank Caliendo show, and is, in my opinion, one of the best impressionists out there. You do impressions that are very weird, man. You do some impressions that no one else does.
I figure that's what you should do. I always figure it's like, why get in and do something, the Nicholson, the ones like that. It's like I try to find a strange one and I do it. Like Ice-T, man. Don't nobody do Ice-T. Bunch of bitches. I do Ice-T better than Ice-T, man. I do his voiceover work and whatnot. I love to say whatnot.
Damn, you got the lisp and everything.
I try to
fights a little lisp there,
yeah,
right?
he fights a little lisp, but it's kind of gangster, and it works for him. You know what I'm saying? Bitches dig it. I used to do that at the Comedy Store. I used to call the Comedy Store as Ice-T, and this poor guy, Kenny Tenney, this guy used to work the phone. And I would call him every time he would pick up the phone. I would call him, and I would be Ice-T, and he would fall for it every time. But like, yo, man, I'm bringing 30 people in tonight, man. What you got on my booth situation? They'd be like, Mr. T, we don't have a booth at 6:30. I'm like, you better build one for me. Well, I'll see if we can. I was just like, oh.
That's hilarious.
That's how I would brush up on the impression, is if I could fool Kenny Tenney, I felt like it was golden.
Yeah, how do you work impressions? Do you practice them at home and then eventually bring them to the stage? Or do you know when you hear somebody whether or not you can do it?
You know, there's a lot of people, if you hear them right away, I know I can do it. If somebody tends to have a deeper voice or something like that, or there's a weird thing about them, I know I can do it, but I always, more so than the way it sounds, it's the way somebody looks when they talk. Because people move their mouth a certain way. That'll reveal half the impression.